F me, F you.
Oh, good one. All right, let's do this.
Could you imagine writing a? I'll tell you after the air. Or do you think we'd get away with it on?
Well, it depends on how it is.
Imagine a parody of One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish that went F1, F2, F me, F you.
Oh.
Good one. All right. Anyway, good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night, aka Hump Day, here at Beyond the Universe, the Infinity Project. And yes, I might as well say it. Mike. Sorry, cannot resist that. All right. Anyway, since it is Wednesday here at Beyond the Airways, it's time for Warzone Wednesday. Which means we're gonna have stories that'll make you laugh, think, cry, get upset.
Sorry about the background.
That's all right. You laugh, cry, get upset. We'll probably fire off a Supernova Rant Rocket tonight because there's at least a couple already. Anyway, I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddlog Stream. I'm currently joined online by 5 of my crazy cohorts. First, below left is our master and creator Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
I'm not below you.
No, awesome Mike's Zoom here. You're below me.
I'm below. In my case, I'm below left is Frodo. So same position as you.
Right.
Hey now, don't be sitting on my head now, ladies. That's this one's job.
Okay, next.
Anyway, next up, over to my left, we have Joker and Oracle. Hello, Mike and Ash.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Yeah. To my right, we have our Arizona sus Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hello, how are you?
And finally, to my bottom right, we have our Ford Anglia 105E, John. Hello, John.
Hey, Shirley.
Everybody run from the John.
Oh. Anyway,
It's
Saja
the
was also in the
homecoming
gym.
queen who's got a gun, not me.
Yeah, the homecoming queen with a gun is named Jamie.
No, actually, her name is Debbie.
But Jamie's got a gun too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, set them against each other then.
Oh, here's me. I'm sorry.
So who would win, John? Mike, Jamie and Debbie
Good
with
question.
a gun.
Good question. I don't know.
My guess would be a stalemate.
Probably a stalemate.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stalemate tonight. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know I'm talking like this. I'm nuts.
We talking about stale tonight. Stale tonight.
I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight.
Don't you mean stale?
Well, I remember one time, and I think it was an episode of America's Funniest Home Videos a long, long time ago. Somebody came up with, "I feel like iguana tonight, like iguana tonight."
I remember there was an episode of America's Funniest Home Videos. I think it was when Bob Saget was still hosting it.
Uh-huh.
Oh God, that's years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when I watched the majority of it. He prefaced one video by saying, "Now showing at the nearest ice arena, garbage trucks on ice."
Yep.
So this garbage truck that just the parking brake was on, and I'm pretty sure it had a screw gear differential, but it just started sliding under its own weight on the icy road and just went down almost like a slow sled.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was
Hit
bad.
anything at the bottom.
Yes, it did. And things on the way down too. No, more like cars.
Bunch of cars.
Yeah. I think you can actually find the video on YouTube.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this question. We got a bunch of stories tonight, so I'm gonna give you the pick of the first one. So, what would you like? More than 200 bodies found at indigenous school in Canada. 2-year-old girl becomes youngest American member of Mensa. Her IQ was 146. Let's see. Used car prices soaring in Alabama won't come down anytime soon. I mean, that's just Alabama. I don't know if the rest of you guys are seeing that. Let's see. Intruder drunkenly breaks into Airbnb filled with deputies.
That one.
All right,
I
hold
want
on.
that one.
Okay, hold on. Two more. Graduation signs celebrate valedictorian and not valedictorian brothers. And
Let's do
finally,
that one first.
okay, and then finally, football coach suspended after allegedly forcing Jewish player to eat pork.
Either one of those first, but
Be right back.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys this. I'd originally signed on the valedictorian versus not valedictorian thing. I wish that could be the kind of thing uh, students would reference in their speeches. Because I'll tell you this, I signed on to help televise the high school graduations over Memorial Day weekend in my neck of the woods. Didn't get asked to help with any of them. And having watched one, I'm glad I wasn't,
Yeah.
because the valedictorian speech, among other things, had her complaining about the fact that she was the only black female speaker scheduled to speak that night.
Turns out
In
she wasn't.
reality, wasn't. She also complained about a variety of things that it's hard for me to remember now because it was,
It got
A lot
basically
of BS.
it turned into more like a political thing, right?
yes, it did.
Ugh.
Fact of the matter is, among other things, the principal gave a speech where he patted himself on the back for having a black student union. I don't know why you can't just have a student union and where all these students band together, but
I think it's a crock of. We're all
Yeah,
shit.
tell me
human.
about it.
We're all flipping human.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. So I heard 2 votes for graduation signs celebrate valedictorian and not valedictorian brothers. So that's going first.
Yay.
All right. All right. So let me put the link all over the place.
Oh, quick thing.
Yeah.
I just remembered this. One of the other speeches that pissed me off, uh, this grad was, she said, success cannot be universally defined. Then she gave a general definition for success that could easily be universalized.
Sheesh.
And all the
Can
while I
we?
was thinking, are you seriously telling me that no matter what these people do with their lives, they will be, quote, successes, unquote?
Yeah.
Oh,
Successes in
fuck.
something, just not sure what.
Okay. Now let me
Okay.
do one more thing. Can I do the picture? Sorry for the lack of picture. I forgot to get that set up. There we go. And now we are good to go. Yay!
All I know is this. We're in trouble. Okay. It's kind of like this old joke from Rocco's Modern Life. Here, this is in a comic book story. You got two fanboys talking to each other, and one of them is almost monotonically describing how once you go elf, you'll never go back to human in terms of your sexual conquests. And his friend just looks at him and says, wow, you're an idiot.
You know,
And
no,
I'm
no
worried
offense
that
to
was,
no offense to anyone directly. I just have to say this. You don't know how many times in my life I've thought those exact words, John.
oh.
Wow, you're a fucking moron.
All right.
I
So
just hope you're not I just hope you're not winding up thinking that when you hear about the exploits of the grads of Kennedy, Washington, or Linmar. Because
Here's the problem. I think most people, until proven otherwise, are idiots.
mm,
yeah, that's
Not
true.
because not because they are, but because it is the safest common denominator to think everyone is until proven.
Calling me an idiot.
No, you've proven yourself otherwise.
Excuse me.
All
Do
right.
you
So,
see? Do you see what I'm saying, Jan?
Yeah.
Assume the worst, hope for the best.
Exactly.
all right. So
Gotcha.
anyway, here is the story. Graduation signs celebrate valedictorian and not valedictorian brothers. This is out of Cypress, Texas. A Texas father may or may not have admitted to having a favorite child with the graduation signs for his two sons on his front lawn. One reads valedictorian and the other reads not valedictorian. Justin and Ryan Paraparum,
Paraparum.
thank you, are
No,
both
it's paraparum.
Paraparum. Okay.
Okay.
All right, are both graduating as part of the class of 2021. So their father, Tony Paraparum, talked about putting up graduation signs in the front yard. The brothers joked about Ryan being the favorite son because he is his class valedictorian at Cypress Woods High School. So Justin Paraparum, the older brother graduating from Texas A&M University, said he would put up a yard sign showcasing his younger brother as valedictorian, and his sign would reflect the opposite. Once made, he took a picture of the signs and posted it to Twitter with a message that said, "My dad swears he doesn't have a favorite." The post received more than 350,000 likes.
Well,
I
he's got
never,
a point. Sorry.
I, yeah, I never expected him to post it. I thought it would just be there and people would get a smile out of it, Tony Paraparum said. Some people got the joke, but others took it a little too seriously. Truth is, Tony Paraparum is proud of both his sons. A lot of people said I'm putting him, Justin, down, and I'm bragging about him, Ryan. I'm really, really proud of, especially Justin, said the father with a laugh. After 4 long years with many struggles in between, like the COVID-19 pandemic and the winter freeze, the family just wanted something to laugh about. My dad has taught me so much about what it means to really care about your family and to also be able to crack jokes and have a good time with each other, Ryan Paraparum said. I just think this entire thing was hilarious and it was just very amusing to say the least, Justin Paraparum said. After this experience, their father jokes he's never putting up signs in his yard again.
I generally don't like putting up signs in my yard.
Yeah, I'm not that big
Among
into
Put
me
up a
other
either.
couple
things, they are
signs.
hard as holy hell to keep up.
I'll put a couple signs up, except they won't be what you guys think they will be.
Who would you
Unless,
be telling to kiss off?
uh, every single person who thinks that they're better than anyone else.
I don't think I'm better.
Did I?
Okay. All right, so
Uh,
I think let's see. The football coach suspended after allegedly forcing Jewish player to
Now
eat.
hold on. Let's
Oh,
let's
okay.
talk about this. I'll tell you this. Hearing that it was his son's idea to put the signs up like that, all I can say is he's got a point when he says his dad swears he doesn't have a favorite because his dad's not the one responsible.
Right, right. Because the one, because Justin wanted to celebrate his brother Ryan, so he just said, I'll put one that says not valedictorian. So really, but honestly, some people took it too seriously. It's like, come on, people.
As long
Well, I
as the
can.
brother, as long as the brother is cool with it,
Oh yeah, he is. He's the one who came up with the idea.
then what are the other people pitching a gripe about?
I'd have to see their comments before I could tell you. Uh,
Yeah.
fact
Oh
is,
wow!
What?
You guys want to hear a crazy one?
Sure.
yes,
Remember the show Fear Factor?
Yes.
yes.
Guess what?
It's coming
Who
back.
died?
No, it's on right now as we speak on the TBD network.
Oh,
Oy. What are they having them do?
I don't want
Uh,
to know.
They're on a scaffolding over the top of the Grand Canyon,
Oh boy.
dealing
Stop.
with.
Stop. Nixon. No.
Dealing
Take it
with
you're
high winds,
acrophobic.
right?
Yeah.
I'd be done.
Well, it sounds to me like they're trying to mimic what Walenda did. Remember the Walenda son that crossed the
You
slack
talking?
rope between the. Go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead.
No, there was a guy. He crossed the slack rope over the Grand Canyon and made it all the way across. Took him several minutes, but he made it. Something similar to that, Frodo?
No, it's like a steel scaffolding that they have progressively further away, six flags that they have to pick off of poles that are hanging down and drop.
I'll pass on that, thank you.
Yeah, me too. Mm-mm.
I think Janet would do good at that.
I have no head for heights in a situation like that.
Me
Sorry,
neither, because
Frodo.
Janet and I have both been to the Grand Canyon, and Janet knows I will not come within 100 feet of the edge if there is no railing.
All
Right?
right, carry on with
I
the
wasn't
story.
there.
Carry on with the story, guys.
Okay. So, shall we go to the football coach suspended after allegedly
Yeah.
forcing Jewish player to eat pork? All right. First
Yeah.
things first, let's fire off that Supernova Rant Rocket because after all, this is Janet's Supernova Rant Rocket. So, take cover!
Fire!
Fire!
Whoops.
Fries!
Darn it, I did it too soon.
No,
I
it's
forgot.
foyer, not fire.
Yeah.
Fire away!
All right, let me try that one more time. I prematurely ended it. Hold on. Okay, now we got that settled. All right, let's see. This is from MSN.com. I hope it's not a video only because I'd rather read. There we go. It is good. All right, give me a chance to put the links everywhere as usual.
You want to read it or shall I?
I can read it. It's no problem. I just have to put it. I just have to put in all the chats. That's all.
Okay.
So let me put it over here.
I saw that one this morning and I go, you have got to be kidding.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Just because he was a little late for practice.
All right. Okay, so here is the story. Football coach suspended after allegedly forcing Jewish player to eat pork. This is courtesy of Newsweek, although it's on MSN.com. A high school football coach in Ohio was placed on administrative leave today after a Jewish football player accused him of making him eat pork, which violates the practices of his religion. 7 other coaching staff and the football team were also suspended by the Canton City School District in the city of the same name. Coach Marcus Watley and 7 assistant coaches forced a 17-year-old McKinley High School football player to eat a whole personal pizza as a punishment
A
after
whole
the student.
pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
That thing was not personal. I saw the box.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's a stock photo.
Never mind.
Okay, it's okay. It's all right. You didn't know. It's all right. It's cool. But
Well,
anyway, Coach Marcus Watley and 7 assistant coaches forced a 17-year-old McKinley High School's football player to eat a whole pepperoni pizza as a punishment after the student athlete missed a weightlifting session on May 20th, the boy's family attorney Edward L. Gilbert alleged. Gilbert told 19 News that the
nice.
ordeal was traumatizing and disrespectful to the McKinley High junior, who is Jewish and follows a kosher diet. The attorney added that it was common knowledge among the footballers at the school that the 17-year-old did not eat pork for religious reasons. In his view, the whole pizza was spoiled. The whole pizza was something that could not be ingested, Gilbert told the news channel. He was ordered to eat that, and if he did not eat it, then he would be most likely removed from the team, and the other teammates would have to do extra exercise that day. So you have the whole team around in this gym. You have 8 coaches there yelling at him that he has to eat this stuff. After the boy finished the pizza, he was instructed to do further exercises, Gilbert said. It's our view that certainly for religious reasons this was inappropriate, the attorney added. It was a dumb thing to do by the coach, and we haven't been able to understand what was in this coach's mind at the time. To punish a
You
kid.
know,
Go
I
ahead.
got to pause you right there for 1 second because I got one thing to say.
Okay.
It is in our opinion that what the coach did was not the best of ideas. Well, you don't say, you stupid fuck.
Yeah.
Where's that you don't say meme when you need it?
Yeah. Hold on a second. There we go.
Anyway, I think you were at to punish a kid for a thing. To punish a kid thing like this for his religious reasons is certainly beyond. It's ridiculous.
Yes, it is. Anyway, the student's family is considering filing a lawsuit against the school district, Gilbert said. The lawyer said the family were not sure whether the student will go back to school, but most likely he will not. Newsweek is contacting Watley and the school for further comment. The school issued a statement on its website saying the well-being of its students was its top priority and it was investigating the incident. The incident calls into question whether appropriate team management, discipline, and player accountability infrastructures are in place, it said. They have infrastructures for that? Okay.
Why not?
I didn't know they had infrastructures like that. Let's see. The district is nearing the completion of its investigation regarding this incident. Once a conclusion is reached, following our commitment to transparency, the district will provide additional information. The football program, which has a long and
Excuse
impressive
me.
history, you're excused, is an important part of our school culture and our community. That program has a proud tradition of instilling the attributes of excellence, leadership, community, accountability, hard work, and respect into the players and those associated with the overall program. As such, those entrusted with the protection of our student athletes must be held to a higher standard within our community. Let us be clear. The Canton City School District holds all staff to the highest professional and ethical standards. Anything short of these standards is unacceptable. And that's
He'll
the
get
end of it.
away with a slap on the hand. Either that or he'll get his ass fired.
Well, here's what I think. Part of the reason what this guy did was idiotic. If somebody missed an exercise session, you don't have him fill up on pizza, even if he doesn't want to eat it, and then work out such that potentially he throws it back up.
Right.
Yeah,
And
this.
not only that, exercising on a full stomach like that can make you really, really sick and wind up hospitalizing you, depending on whether or not your body's used to it.
Yeah.
Jan,
What?
the issue isn't about how full the kid is. The issue boils down to one thing, and that is
The coach was
kosher
an
eating.
asshole.
Yeah.
No, it boils down to kosher eating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've got a kid who has never, ever been physically exposed to ingesting a pork product. And then you force this kid to ingest a pork product that his body is not ready for, it's not prepared for, it doesn't know what the fuck to do with. It's gonna, your body is, in this kind of situation, the body is gonna throw up its defenses to the nth degree. And more than likely, that kid probably, even though it's not mentioned, may not be mentioned in the article from what I heard, he probably would have puked it out because his body wasn't ready for it. And you gotta remember, this is a high school kid, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
17.
Okay, 17-year-old. That means this kid has not eaten a pork product in 17 fucking years. You don't have, okay,
Body can't metabolize it.
me, you, Mike, Ash, John, Shirley, even Sarah, we've had pork.
Oh yeah.
For me, Mike, Ashley, and John and Sarah, we live in a state where pigs outnumber
Outnumber
humans.
people.
Yep.
We're outnumbered at least 6-1.
I thought it was more like 4-1, but
And all of a
It's
sudden,
like
5
and now
million
let's,
people, 20 million pigs.
now,
It's 3.8 million people.
now I'm suddenly thinking corn, 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 corn. What's that smell?
But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
in Iowa, we're used to pork. We eat it a lot. Most of us enjoy it. You got a kid that's of Jewish background, and pork being non-kosher and not allowed as part of the
The
eating
kosher diet.
eating requirements prescribed in the Torah. You know, he's 17 years old. He's never had a pork product in his life, more than likely.
Yeah.
That means his body is going to react to it just like it would react to, say, the flu or a cold or something like that, which means
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
body is going to reject it.
That's true.
Now, Frodo, my point was his action was idiotic in more ways than one.
Well, and that's
Regardless
true.
of kosher diet, I don't know what football coach thinks thinks a good punishment is to have one of his or her players eat themselves potentially sick and then exercise to the point where they probably would be sick.
Yeah.
And like I said, with him exercising like that, John, there's no would probably about it.
Yeah.
This kid, by the time he got in that locker room, he'd probably be hunched over a toilet, spewing
Puking.
his guts out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to remember, you've got the idea of it being a foreign substance to the body.
And basically a form of trauma, how he took it in.
Yeah.
True.
Exactly.
And the sheer amount that he took in.
Yeah.
That's a combination for disaster right there.
Yeah. Well, Frodo, there's an old saying: those who can do, those who cannot teach, and those who cannot teach coach.
Yep. And I'm sorry to say it, but in my humble opinion, and this is just my honest opinion, we find what the coach doesn't like or can't eat. Uh, let's just say I'm going to throw a hypothetical out here, okay?
Yeah.
We give him one EpiPen to start with. One. And we make him eat a pile of peanut butter sandwiches this tall and let him react. And then you could use his EpiPen, because essentially that's what he did to this kid. This kid, I mean, it may not be a true allergy, but the idea that he is not used to this substance makes it act like an allergy.
I got to say
Exactly.
something.
Go for it.
I think this might seem to contradict some of the beliefs I've espoused, but I need to explain it. I think I favor, in place of jail time, which is costly in terms of tax paying and hard to enforce, a form of mechanized and controlled corporal punishment. Instead of sentencing somebody to X time in prison or even a fine, sentence them to have their leg lightly broken in a controlled setting. They're basically disabled. They get minimal treatment, and then they discover the hard way they can't do stuff for themselves. Probably would cost a lot less than what it costs to keep them alive and well in jail,
Yeah. That's
and
true.
possibly would be less injurious to them in the
I
long
mean,
run.
I'm not going to disagree with you, John. Okay. My biggest issue, though, is that, I mean, that's beautiful idea, but that could also run awry of the Fifth Amendment. Or no, not is it Fifth?
The
I think
Eighth Amendment prohibits cruel and unusual
that's
punishment.
the one. Eighth. I
Well,
always mix up.
hold on, Janet.
One moment.
Frodo, here's the thing, though. The reason I suggest it be controlled is because of the fact that what most people are worried about with corporal punishment is its potential for abuse. If a criminal is sentenced to be whipped, that of course is potentially cruel and unusual because of the fact that it's in an uncontrolled setting and done by a human who could easily be barbarous. But if a person is sentenced to be put in a machine that breaks their leg or their arm in a controlled and monitored manner, provided the machine doesn't malfunction, then all it does is deal them that injury. Then they're treated and sent away to heal without access to a hospital. And they discover the hard way that they can't do what they used to be able to do.
That's fair. But as I was saying, John, though, let's just if this coach, and I use that term very, very loosely, thinks it's a fair idea to base essentially torture this kid,
Yeah.
maybe he needs to be tortured and shown what it feels like.
Well, the best way to do that, like I said, is to put them in, say, a leg breaking machine, not
Jan,
to.
yeah,
Sorry.
I like that idea, but I'm just saying, okay?
Yeah.
You said you had something you wanted to say, go for it.
I done forgot it. If I think about it, I'll.
All right. Well, let's see. And
What do you
Sajid mentioned that Muslims don't eat pork as well, which is true. That is
Yes.
true. That's correct.
And Sajo, I wasn't trying to put you down or anything, but let me ask you a serious question, Sajo.
I'll be
If
right back, guys.
Okay.
Yep, you're fine. If you were forced by someone to eat pork, how would you feel? Like, how would you physically feel, do you think? Shirley,
Yes. What?
you paying attention to what he says?
Yeah. He said I would feel sick.
I agree with you. I believe you right there. Here's the reason I think that. I can't eat onions.
Okay.
Does he
Okay.
disagree with you?
Let me put it this way. I eat onions, I become nuclear.
In other words,
Oh.
you got to evacuate the area within about 5 miles.
Let me put it this way. When we went to Nebraska, I thought having one standard McDonald's cheeseburger wouldn't ignite me. I was wrong.
Oh, you were so wrong.
I was terribly, terribly wrong.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like if I could try something, and I don't know, I'll tell you this: if I eat too much meat, then yeah, I get into trouble because I don't get me wrong, I love chicken, I love pork, I love beef, but I have a limit in my body because it's like if I eat too much, I will know it, I will feel it. So that's why I try to be careful about it. All right, I think we can move on to the next story. And I'm going to choose this one. It's going to be the 200 bodies found at that indigenous school in Canada. I saw
You're
that.
going to
It's
have a
like,
hard
Oh,
time
rest in peace.
damn. It's like,
pronouncing the tribe's name. You're going to have a hard time pronouncing the tribe's name.
maybe not. I don't think any tribe names actually get mentioned.
I'll share the article and we'll
Just
see.
read the article.
Okay.
We'll run into it.
All right. Well, there's that. And then go to Discord, put it there. And that's going to help Mike because putting these links in there makes it much easier for Mike to put up when it's time to upload the episode. All right, so we got that in there. We're good to go. Let's go to picture. And here we go. All right, so it's a basic headline. More than 200 bodies found at Indigenous school in Canada. Now I'm going to read this sign, okay? It says Kamloops Indian Residential School. The school was built in 1890, then rebuilt in 1923 due to a fire, and remained open until 1977. Now, this part's going to make you mad. In the 1920s, Native children aged 4 to 15 years were forcibly taken and prohibited from seeing their families, practicing their languages, cultures, and traditions. Children attending KIRS experienced extreme isolation and segregation. That's
You're right.
shocking
That
enough.
is a piss offer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, out of Kamloops, British Columbia, the remains of 215 children, some as young as 3 years old, have been found buried on the site of what was once Canada's largest Indigenous residential school, one of the institutions that held children taken from families across the nation. Chief Roseanne Casimir of the Tk'emlúps,
Tekemlums Tesequapemka.
thank you, First Nation,
Sure.
said in a news release that the remains were confirmed last weekend with the help of ground penetrating radar. More bodies may be found because there are more areas to search on the school grounds, Casimir said Friday. In an earlier release, she called the discovery an unthinkable loss that was spoken about but never documented at the Kamloops Indian Residential School. From the 19th century until the 1970s, more than 150,000 First Nations children were required to attend state funded Christian schools as part of a program to assimilate them into Canadian society. They were forced to convert to Christianity and not allowed to speak their native languages. Many were beaten and verbally abused, and up to 6,000 are said to have died. The Canadian government apologized in Parliament in 2008 and admitted that physical and sexual abuse in the schools was rampant. Many students recall being beaten for speaking their native languages. They also lost touch with their parents and customs. Indigenous leaders have cited that legacy of abuse and isolation as the root cause of epidemic rates of alcoholism and drug addiction on reservations. A report more than 5 years ago by a Truth and Reconciliation Commission said at least 3,200 children had died amid abuse and neglect, and it said it had reports of at least 51 deaths at the Kamloops school alone between 1915 and 1963. This really resurfaces the issue of residential schools and the wounds from this legacy of genocide toward Indigenous people, Terry Teegee, Assembly of First Nations Regional Chief for British Columbia, said Friday. British Columbia Premier John Horgan said he was horrified and heartbroken to learn of the discovery, calling it a tragedy of unimaginable proportions that highlights the violence and consequences of the residential school system. The Kamloops School operated between 1890 and 1969, when the federal government took over operations from the Catholic Church and operated it as a day school until it closed in 1978. Casimir said it's believed the deaths are undocumented, although a local museum archivist is working with the Royal British Columbia Museum to see if any records of the deaths can be found. Given the size of the school, with up to 500 students registered and attending at any one time, we understand that this confirmed loss affects First Nations communities across British Columbia and beyond, Casimir said in the initial release issued last Thursday. The leadership of the Tk'emlúps, am I right down, John?
Tekemlips.
The Kamloops, thank you. The Kamloops community acknowledges the responsibility to caretake for these lost children, Casimir said. Access to the latest technology allows for a true accounting of the missing children and will hopefully bring some peace and closure to those lives lost, she said in the release. Casimir said band officials are informing community members and surrounding communities that had children who attended the school. The First Nations Health Authority called the discovery of the children's remains extremely painful and said in a website posting that it will have a significant impact on the Kamloops community and in the communities served by this residential school. The authority's CEO, Richard Jock, said the discovery illustrates the damaging and lasting impacts that the residential school system continues to have on First Nations people, their families, and communities. Nicole Chavis, a law professor at Thompson Rivers University, said each of her first year law students at the Kamloops University spends at least one day at the former residential school speaking with survivors about conditions they had endured. She said she did not hear survivors talk about an unmarked grave area, but they all talk about the kids who didn't make it. And that's the end.
And
That's
people
just
call Canada a
Just
bastion
as
of
bad then as
tolerance.
it is now, Shirley. I'm not just talking about First Peoples. I'm talking about First Peoples, African Americans. You know,
yeah,
it's the same all over anymore.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. What would you
It
like?
just people
Go ahead.
piss me off. Let's just
Yeah.
put it there.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We have used car prices soaring. Intruder drunkenly breaks into Airbnb filled with deputies.
That
Let's do
one.
that one.
All right.
I want to laugh again.
Okay. Yeah, this really is a good laugh.
Doing okay, Mike?
Yep, I'm good.
Awesome. Where'd Ash drop off to?
She's playing on the bed, playing Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Story. She's fine.
Okay.
Okay, number. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want that for. There we go. And finally into Discord. There we go. All right.
I'm sorry. I can't quit yawning.
That's okay.
Fine.
All right. So anyway.
It's okay. I can't quit belching.
Mhm.
Excuse
Well,
me.
I
You're
do
excused.
burps. Unfortunately,
And I'm half
they
dead.
don't come out of my mouth.
All right. So anyway, intruder drunkenly breaks into Airbnb filled with deputies. Oh,
I'm
this
gonna
is
let you
good.
guys go. You guys handle the rest.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So anyway,
Have a
this
nice
is out.
night.
All right, this is out of Milwaukee. A drunken 19-year-old man accidentally broke into a Milwaukee Airbnb where 3 sheriff's deputies were staying and fell asleep. The deputies say he woke up in handcuffs. The Montana deputies, who were in Milwaukee for emergency vehicle training, say they never expected a crime to happen in their rental home. When they found the back door open, they realized there was an intruder, and when they went upstairs, they found a 19-year-old man sound asleep. The deputies posted about the incident on TikTok in a video seen by tens of thousands of people. Matt finds this dude laying in a bed in our house. This silly guy found the one Airbnb in all of downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, loaded with cops. He woke up in handcuffs, said the deputies on TikTok. The deputies say the 19-year-old was drunk, had no idea where he was, and didn't know where he had come from. Deputy Charles Pasola adds the man was lucky there were cops. What if the dude stumbled into a bed with a kid or my wife? I mean, it could have been a different morning, right? So, wrong place, wrong time, but lucky place, lucky time, that there's dudes that actually know how to handle that, he said. Pasola says he turned the incident into a TikTok video because he's trying to show the community a different side of the badge and that cops are real people. Cops have a hard time right now, and when they can see we're still having fun and still real people and we're good, it's a good thing, he said. The intruder wasn't cited or charged. Police say he was intoxicated and stumbled into the wrong home. He made a mistake. It's okay. We're going to get over it, and at the end of the day, we can smile about it, Deputy Matt Vander Ark said. And that is the end.
Kind of kind of right up there with Peter Griffin knocking on his own door, and when Lois answered it, he says, "Oh, Lois, thank God it's you. The last 3 houses were very rude."
Yep.
I'm
Well,
glad they did that,
yeah.
especially in the areas around George Floyd's death.
All right. All right. We got 2 left. Used car prices or the 2-year-old with an IQ of 146.
Let's
The
do the
IQ
2-year-old.
one.
All right. Yeah, I saw. It's like, wait, she's only 2, and she's got an IQ of 146.
Too bad Frodo couldn't stick around for this one.
Yeah, she's the youngest American member of Mensa ever. Like, holy crap! I didn't have an IQ that high at 2, but some kids can be like that. All right, so right, let's get this. You know what? I forgot to do the picture, but you know what? I'm not worried. Okay.
She's a cute kid, but I wish her mom hadn't, or whoever hadn't dressed her in that shirt. Don't politicize this, please.
Let's see. 2-year-old girl becomes youngest American member of Mensa. It's out of Los Angeles. 2-year-old Kashi West, I don't think she's related to Kanye, can name all the elements on the periodic table, identify all 50 states by shape and location, and she's learning Spanish. The California toddler has become the youngest American member of Mensa. The organization's membership is strictly limited to those who score at the highest levels in IQ tests. According to Kashi's parents, a pediatrician noticed she seemed advanced for her age, so the family took her to a psychologist who administered the Mensa test. The result concluded that Kashi had an IQ of 146, her family says. Her family says they will continue to encourage Kashi's learning, but plan to let her set the tone on whatever topic she wants to learn. Good.
Can't help but think, Mr. Simpson, we have estimated your son's IQ, and here it is 912. Mr. Simpson, you're holding it upside down. It's actually 216. Oh, but that's still incredibly high.
All right, we have one more left, right?
Yep. But I mean, think about it. 2 years old with a 146 IQ.
One of these days, if I can do it for cheap, I might have to have my IQ tested. You gotta
Yeah,
be careful who's running the test, though. That's
Yeah, that's true.
easy way to get yourself scammed.
That is true. You're absolutely right. All right, so the last one in the list is U-car. U-car. Yeah, I'll drive a U-car, please. Let's see. It's used
Is it
car.
anything like Handy Car?
I don't know. Good question. Let's see. Used car prices soaring in Alabama won't come down anytime soon. Now, I mean, I was just looking at this. This is Alabama. I don't know if any other states are experiencing this, so.
Never shop for a used car around here, I'm afraid.
Okay. Here's me. All right. Now, this was posted back on May 23rd, but still, it's still an interesting story anyway.
Yeah.
So, oh, I got to put the link in there. I got to link. I'll get my mouth to work. My mouth is not working tonight. It's just like that one blooper in whatchamacallit, Star Trek Beyond. You got Greg Grunberg running the station, and he's getting it's like keep firing. Tell all civilian personnel to get ready for a proctology protocol.
Keep firing, assholes!
That was I crack up every time I see that blooper.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. Keep firing, assholes!
All right, so let's see. Let's turn that off and let me double check one thing. Yep, here we go. And sorry about SpongeBob. Okay. Anyway,
What's
I've
wrong
never
with
seen.
SpongeBob?
No, it's just an ad at the top.
I want to see.
Okay, let's
I
see.
didn't get SpongeBob. I got a Car Gurus ad.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
You
Everyone.
suck.
All right. I've never seen anything like this. Prices for used cars are soaring in Alabama. All right. So if you've shopped around for a used car recently, you may have noticed something. Used cars are expensive. Not only that, they're more expensive than usual. It's not just you. The cost of a used car in Alabama and in the nation as a whole has gone up dramatically in the last year. In Alabama, the average monthly cost for a used car has gone up by more than 34% since last May, according to data from CarGurus.com. That's a bigger increase than the United States as a whole, which saw used car prices increase by around 27% over the same period. Let's see. So there's a chart right there. What's driving the increase? It's a problem with multiple root causes, according to Dick Brubaker, a former Alabama state lawmaker and the owner of Brubaker Motors, which operates multiple car dealerships in Montgomery. He said the combination of a worldwide microchip shortage and the disruption in the supply chain caused by the coronavirus have led to the current situation.
Guess the ECU wasn't the best of ideas, was it?
But at its most basic, the rising sticker price comes down to just supply and demand, Brubaker said. He said normally at this time of year he would have 330 new Chrysler vehicles of all types ready for sale. This year, he only has 60. I've been in the car business since 1986 and I've never seen anything like this, he said. The pandemic and microchip shortage have combined to create a scenario where there aren't many new cars hitting the lots. Meanwhile, consumers, aided by multiple rounds of federal stimulus checks, are still looking to buy. Some who might have looked to buy a new car are instead being directed to late model used cars, Brubaker said. And some businesses that got Paycheck Protection Program loans used them to buy company vehicles. And there's another contributing factor. The rental car industry hasn't been immune from the turmoil. At the start of the pandemic, dwindling demand led American car rental companies to sell off hundreds of thousands of cars, according to the Washington Post. Prior to the pandemic, rental cars were a large source of used cars across the country, as the companies typically sold the cars after it reached a certain age. Now, with the supply of rental cars already low, there will be no influx of old rentals into the consumer market. In fact, the opposite appears to be happening. As Bloomberg recently reported, rental companies can't find the new cars they need and are instead swooping in to buy used cars at auction, further depleting the used car market. All that has led to a huge increase in demand, he said, and at the same time, not enough people are trading their old cars in, contributing to the shortage of supply. That's led to some strange things happening in the used car market. If you look at the NADA Yellow Book values, late model mass produced used cars are actually appreciating in value, Brubaker said. That means they're getting more expensive in the years since someone took them off the lot. That never happens, but it's happening now. Brubaker said he doesn't see the situation getting fixed overnight. I don't see it changing dramatically in for 5 to 6 months, he said. And getting back to normalcy could take even longer. Normalcy? 6 to 8 months. And that's if everything goes right on the production side. One consequence of the current used market, it's a great time to sell a used car, he said. If you've got a late model used car that you're not using very much, I've never seen a better time to be a seller in the used car market. People that have been thinking about selling a car, if it's less than 5 years old, they're never going to have an opportunity to get as much for it as they can right now. And that is the end of the story.
Nice. Well, at least it's not people price gouging. At least I hope it isn't.
No.
But the fact is, this is kind of like a pendulum swing. Once we'll see whether or not the new car businesses can get back into the swing of things. If they can, this will go till they start supplying, and then we'll go in the opposite direction.
Right.
But the question is, will they come back into business?
Yeah, that's a good question. But then again, that show Hometown Takeover did a great job in Wetumpka. And who knows, it may have started a sign that they could revitalize small towns across the country. You know,
I don't know.
it's a maybe. It's no promises, but it's a good start, and I like that.
Yeah.
As long as it's a good start, it could be the spark, and that's good. But oh shoot, I was gonna say something. I blanked.
Yeah, you're all right.
Oh yeah, tomorrow morning. I took a sneak look at Netflix to see if it maybe it was already on. Nope, it's still not in there yet. Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie, both parts will be on Netflix in the morning. I will be watching it.
I'll
Very
probably be
close.
asleep in preparation for helping televise Marion by Moonlight tomorrow night.
Ah, cool.
Woo! Man, my moonlight.
Hopefully,
Marion
I
by
get to enjoy
moonlight.
plenty of it.
Marion by moonlight. I'm kidding.
Well, surely Marion by Moonlight is basically an outdoor concert.
Oh,
You
cool.
got musical styles from everybody who wants to participate there.
Yep,
Nice.
yep. And I have been to many, and especially when it was down at Marion Square Park, it would be like a 10 to 15 minute walk from my old place.
That's good.
You planning to go to any of them this year? Because I'm helping televise 3 of them.
I don't know yet, especially when Ash has works that possibly have
Oh,
work the next night or next day.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point. Yeah, because I'll
Sorry.
tell you this, Janet and I, we all see we went to that corner in Winslow, Arizona. Unfortunately, we didn't realize there was the Standing on the Corner Music Festival there. That would have been a lot of fun to
Nice.
go to, but we ended up missing it.
Well,
But
hopefully it wouldn't have been too expensive, but
it probably would not have been. But what was so cool is you see what happened was when I went on the road trip, we went to the corner and we saw that
yeah,
one statue. Now, I
nice.
stopped at Winslow starting my road trip back to Montgomery. And sure enough, when I go to I said I'm gonna go check out the corner, see what's going on. Probably nothing different. They added a second statue. They added the statue for Glenn Fry. So there
Nice.
are now 2 statues adorning that corner. So which is kind of cool.
I'll say. Uh, We got any stories to cap off, or
No, I think that's it.
I'll be right back. I gotta get some more water. Took
Okay.
Sarah and Frodo out for Chinese tonight, and now I got the meat sweats.
I need agua.
I need agua and aerofrigo.
Ah,
Agua frigo y aerofrigo. What is the Spanish word for air? Is it aero?
I think so. Ero.
I had a feeling. No, that's what it is in Latin.
Ah, it's good.
Hey, Phil,
Aerodynamic.
I got some trivia
Oh,
for
come
you.
on.
Shoot.
What European culture was credited with the original invention of horseshoes?
Lucky bastard.
Roman?
Exactly.
Ah,
Yeah, Frodo actually. I tried that on Frodo tonight. He actually gets the Germans.
oh. Well, I kind of suspect it was the Romans.
Now, given what they like to ride their horses over, it's not too
Yep.
surprising.
Third.
Exactly.
Watching Liberty City.
Uh,
But yeah,
hey guys,
I'm looking
stick
forward.
around.
Oh.
Stick around after the broadcast. I got something funny to show you.
Okay, cool.
Maybe we should cut it short, Shirley.
Yeah.
The
Probably good.
meal wasn't exactly energizing to me.
Okay. That's probably a good idea. I mean, heck, it's our show. We can end it how we see fit. So that's right, folks. We end it how we see fit. And seriously, we covered all the stories we wanted to tonight. So,
Exactly.
but you know what's interesting? Tomorrow's attention to one, we still don't have a topic.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
tell you what, I ain't gonna be
Hold on a
there because I gotta work.
Okay.
Why don't you make it me, and I'll watch it later to see what you said behind my back.
Ooh.
No,
Can I
we
say
won't do
something
that
real
to
quick
you.
before the end? I got
Say
one thing I
again.
want to say. I got one thing.
Oh, sure.
Today I've been part of this team for 7 years.
Yay! Woo!
7 years.
For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a
And
jolly good fellow. Which nobody can deny.
Yeah.
and I have no plans to leave this team anytime soon.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yep.
I will stay with
Also,
this team.
Jen, she's
What?
out.
Yep, she's
Nope.
there.
You look like you dozed off.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
I'm just listening.
I didn't know that.
Keep it quiet because I really don't have anything to say. I've been up since about 5 o'clock
Uh,
this morning.
Sorry.
Okay, I did not know.
That's okay. Yeah. Well, you guys see me doze off, so it's like.
I think we've covered all of our rant rockets, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. All
Um,
right. So let's see.
My mom, this is an announcement. Shirley already knows. Mike already knows. John, my mom is coming home day after tomorrow. So I will be back and forth during the week.
Okay.
So my dad says he needs help with her. I got to go help her. I'm
That's
the only
fine.
help here.
That's
I'm the
okay.
only help here.
That's
And
okay.
if I get up playing Among Us and I get called and I'm a crewmate, don't kill me if you're the sus.
Well,
I can't promise that, Janet.
yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah.
Because well, the good news is if you have like 7 people and Janet just stands there all by herself, you don't have to worry about a thing.
Yeah.
Because we just have to get everybody else. That's all.
The public players are getting used to me playing with them.
That's good.
Nice.
Well,
Good.
I only got booted out of a room before the game started one time.
All right. So anyway, you know what? I think I know what we can do for attention to one. How technology has changed. You know how Frodo was talking about, Janet was talking about the top games of the 1980s.
Yeah.
I would say how technology itself has evolved, excuse me, from the 80s to now.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
Go over with Frodo, but
Yeah.
I got some good ideas. Now, unfortunately, I won't be there.
Yeah, that's fine. But because I'll tell you this, one thing I owned a Commodore 64.
My first video game system was a Super NES, and I didn't get that till the mid 90s.
Yeah,
I started off with
Actually, the late 90s.
I started off with the Nintendo and the regular 8-bit NES. Then I went from there to a Super Nintendo, and then I went from a Super Nintendo to a Game Boy. The only one I have left out of those gaming systems is my Game Boy.
And let's see.
Nice.
My first game system was actually not the Atari 2600. It was the ColecoVision.
Oh, that's a moldy oldie.
Oh, I know, because I would play. I remember I'd play the Smurfs for 3 hours. Seriously.
Who remembers seeing an anime arcade game based off of Lupin the Third at the arcade?
Nope, never did.
Well,
I know I never did. I remember.
what the game did was it took the elements from mostly Castle Cagliostro and a little bit from the helicopter chase from Mystery of Mamo,
Ah,
and they combined it. And basically, the whole game deals with the fact that you are Lupin and you're trying to rescue the princess, like he did in Castle Cagliostro.
yeah.
And man, it took me several months before I finished the game, could finish the game through without dying.
Nice.
And it was a fun game to play.
That's good. All right, so I think Frodo would approve of the topic, and John,
Okay.
break a leg tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. I hate to say it, but I managed to bark my shin on something last night that
Ouch.
drew a little. It wasn't enough for me to notice, but
Okay.
drew a little blood later. Had to tend to that. Um, you'll know whether or not I do. It'll probably be on the news the next day.
Okay. All right. So anyway, that's it. Our attention one topic tomorrow will be how technology has evolved from the 80s to now.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Frodo will be okay with it. But anyway, I think it's time we say goodnight on this show. So let me go to the ending here.
You're good.
All right.
Sarai.
Aye.
Okay.
Hey. All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everybody have a
I
great
heard
night.
it that time.
Yeah. Have a great night. Sleep well. Stay safe. And we'll see you tomorrow for Attention One, the evolution of technology from the 80s until now.
Woo.
So, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Night, everybody.
Good
Take
night,
care.